There we go.
All right. Sound good?
Yeah, we're not dropping any frames yet, but we're live too, by the way.
Live, huh?
Yeah, before I even called you, I just turned it on.
Okay.
I think I knew what was running, and I'm like, fucking A, why does it have to run? It's probably
What?
Steam. It's probably Steam.
Fucking Steam, man.
Yeah. Because I'm like, I've never had an issue with YouTube running. Yeah,
Uh,
I've everything running normal, and it's still no frames. All right, whatever. All right.
Let me guess. Steam runs in the background, doesn't
Yep.
it? Mm-hmm. Gosh, stop that shit.
Yeah. Well, it updates constantly, so I'm like, I didn't know what the hell was going on. So I'm like, did it? I didn't realize it was still running. I'm like, oh fuck, that could be why, because that takes a lot of juice. All right. All right, we're dropping some frames. That could mean I have shit. That's because I have shit running right now, too, and I know that for a fact that I have shit running. So whatever.
Mm.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
That's all that matters. Then I don't care. All right.
Not dropping frames.
No, we're dropping frames, but I think it's more. You know what? Fuck it. I'm not even gonna. I'm not even gonna deal with the Stephen A. I'm not even gonna play that on the background. I'm just gonna. I'm just gonna play the audio.
All right, cool.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what it is. Shit. Okay.
What?
I think because I'm like flipping in between different styles, it's jumping up and down.
Styles.
Like when I go to the other one, I'm literally trying to like do different like, oh, let's pull up this video, let's pull up this, let's pull up that. It's creating a lot of bandwidth.
Oh, okay.
All right, you ready?
Yeah, just well, don't do styles then.
No, that's what I'm not gonna. I'm not doing that. All right.
Oh my
All right.
delusional Ohio State fans.
Leave it at that. All right, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Ladies and gentlemen,
What?
ladies and
Mm-hmm.
gentlemen, welcome to a special episode of the Nerd Zone on the Nerdport Network. Let's just face it, we're talking about fucking Urban Meyer today.
Yep.
Yeah, there ain't no ifs, ands, or buts. Let's just get this up. Let's start this and get this shit over with. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a special episode of the Nerd Zone on the Nerdport Network. I am your host, Stefan Ronnie, and with me, as always,
Tripped. Sorry, I'm finishing food.
It's all good. All right. You want to just dive into this? You want to hear what Stephen A. Smith said first, so I can close this window down?
Yeah, go.
All right.
Yep, no.
Because this just happened 2 hours ago. So this happened on the Stephen A. Smith show. So let's hear what he had to say.
Utter the words to you that Urban Meyer should have been fired. It's not because of this. I think that a suspension that ensured it would include at least 2 Big Ten games was more than enough. He's not the one who committed domestic violence. That was Zach Smith. And I think a lot of times we are so fixated on making sure somebody pays that we actually let the true perpetrator off the hook. No one is more egregious in this particular instance than Zach Smith, the assistant coach. He is the one that put his hands on his pregnant wife before, then ultimately his wife, and then after they had separated. He did that. Urban Meyer, as inexcusable as it may be, it's entirely plausible that somebody who had a mentor who he believes is responsible for sparking his illustrious career owed it to the granddaddy to try and look out for his grandson. We might not like it. We might not approve of it. But damn it, we know that happens. It just does. Trevor Mattis came on First Take today and essentially alluded to as much. So has Paul Feinbaum. Where collectively we all march lockstep in unison with one another is looking at that press conference last night. That was when my position transitioned from Urban Meyer being suspended to Urban Meyer needing to go. Paul Feinbaum said he looked like a damn hostage up there. That's what he said. That's what he was talking about. Urban Meyer sat up there last night like he was the victim. Like Courtney Smith, the victim, the woman who was abused by her husband, verbally, physically, or otherwise, whatever way you want to term it. She says physical. Urban Meyer acted like he was her. Like he was the one that was being victimized. That he was the one that was being tortured. No remorse. No contrition. He never even mentioned her name. And when asked specifically about her, he said, I'm just sorry that we're all here. This is what it was. He was asked what his message to Courtney Smith is, the victim. Listen to what Urban Meyer said.
What message do you have for Courtney Smith?
Well, I have a message for everyone involved in this. I'm sorry that we're in this situation. And I'm just sorry we're in this situation.
What about Shelley's text messages? Why were you not concerned from her messages about this situation?
I was not aware of Shelley's text messages at the time.
All right, stop right there. And see, that's another thing. Because not only did he show no remorse, not only did he show no contrition, he flat out lied. Ladies and gentlemen, you ladies out there, oh, you gonna call up to this show today. You gonna call up to, 888-SAY-ESPN, 888-729-3776. Y'all gonna call up here today because I want one woman. I challenge one woman in this country to call up here to tell me you're married to a man for 29 years. His wife, the wife of a subordinate, tells you she's being physically abused, and you didn't tell your husband. What wife is that? Now, ladies and gentlemen, once again, to put myself on the full disclosure, I haven't been married. Obviously, I've had intimate relations, but I have not been married. Let me be very, very clear. You are with a woman for 29 years. There is no way on earth she did not tell you what's going on. There's no way she kept that from you. Don't tell me that. That's insulting my intelligence. The wife of Urban Meyer, the head football coach of The Ohio State University, a 3-time national champion, in the discussion yearly as to whether or not he's the best coach in all of college football, him or Nick Saban, who signs a contract extension, who's getting paid $7.6 million annually in total cash compensation. who's a 3-time national champion, who, by the way, has a history of troubles because 31 arrests occurred under his watch at Florida. That guy. You said nothing to him about one of his subordinates, the wife of one of his subordinates, claiming she was being physically abused. You said nothing. Ladies and gentlemen, we all know that's a lie. That's just a flat-out lie. I'd stake my career on that. And I don't know Urban Meyer's wife from a can of paint. If she was standing right in front of me, I wouldn't know who she is. There is no woman alive that would keep such information from her husband of 29 years. Damn it, I don't think there's a woman alive who would do that to a husband she'd been married to for 29 days. How about 29 hours? Let alone 29 minutes. That's just a damn lie. Urban Meyer could have went up to the press conference yesterday and said, hey, I messed up big time. I mishandled this stuff. As Trevor Maddich said, I apologize to Courtney Smith, and I apologize to women everywhere who suffer from such a heinous act. I didn't add substance to these kind of situations. I diluted it for my own selfish gain. And for that, I'm sincerely sorry and I apologize. Urban Meyer chose to take a different route. And yet a very predictable one. And I'll close this segment by asking a very, very simple question. Y'all still okay with 18, 19, 20, 25-year-olds being held more accountable than grown men who are supposed to be leaders of those young men?
Okay, do me a favor, hit that other Stephen A. Smith button.
I can't do that, dude.
You can't hit that drop?
No, I can't hit a drop. Oh, what? Oh, this one?
Hell no. I want to be very, very clear. No.
Yes.
All right.
That one.
All right, let's talk here.
Yes.
Let's talk
okay.
because I don't want to. All right. Okay, so basically all right, so here's the thing. Ohio State has suspended Urban Meyer for the first 3 games of the season, which are Oregon State, Rutgers, and TCU. So basically, Ohio State is suspended him for 3 games that they're supposed to win anyway.
Wait, it gets worse than that, though. Did you know that he's really only suspended for 1 game? Because he can still coach the team during practice for Rutgers and TCU.
It's a fucking joke. All right, before anything, yes, this deals with domestic violence, and it's never right. It is never right, and the fact that Courtney Smith is lost in all this crap is ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, listen, let's not get it twisted.
Because she is the victim.
Yeah.
She is the victim, and there should be. She's the victim. That's all I have to say. Like, she is the victim, and anything, like even stemming from this, should go back to that. Zach Smith hit his wife, and he's been arrested for it. Of course, you know, the arrest in Ohio, they didn't really arrest him, and then all this other stuff. Well, of course, it's Ohio. What do you expect, you know? Of course, it's Ohio State doing, covering, which they've done for years. And this report's even proven it now.
Yeah.
It's egregious. And no woman deserves to be hit. Ever.
No.
And the fact that Zach Smith is saying this is self-defense after text messages where Oh, it is ridiculous. Like, Courtney Smith says in the text messages, where if I could find it, where is it? Oh my God, where are these stupid text messages at? Where it's like, be careful. Like, she's talking with Shelley Meyer. Here it is. Urban Meyer's wife, Shelley, received text messages from Courtney Smith about Zach's alleged abuse, including a number of photographs that have since become public, maintained investigators that she did not relay Courtney Smith's expression of fear or allegations of abuse, including the photographs of Urban Meyer at the time, because she had doubts about the veracity of Courtney Smith's allegations. Urban Meyer said he did not recall any discussion with Shelley Meyer about either her or Courtney Smith's concerns about her abuse.
Right there, that's bullshit.
What? Oh, complete bullshit. Where? Yeah, like, Courtney Smith talked to Shelley Meyer constantly. If I can pull up the damn report, it's a long ass report.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 23 pages. I mean, if you want to go through it, you can read it. It's ridiculous. The crazy, like, everything. I'm going to try to summarize it here. Come on, scroll. Okay, that sounds good.
Something's going up with the internet today, but it's all good.
What's going on?
Dude, I'm jumping. My internet speed is jumping like stupid.
Your internet speed is jumping stupid.
Like, it's going from like 7,000 to 150. It's like it's ridiculous. I don't know why it's doing this.
I don't know either. Where is it? Oh my God. I'm trying to find it.
It's whatever. It's still running. It's still fine.
Where are these text messages? It's a 23-page report, and it is ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, the stuff like even Urban Meyer came out and was saying was like, oh, I never got the text message. That's a fucking lie.
I never got the text message. Yeah, okay, that's a lie. You know it's a lie. The investigated. All right. Here's everything that has happened in 2009. It goes 2009 to. It's ridiculous. All right. The events of 2009 regarding the arrest in Florida of Zach Smith on June 21st, 2009 for aggravated battery on a pregnant female, his then wife, Courtney Smith, who both coach Urban Meyer and Zach Smith were employed by the University of Florida. Following a party at Coach Meyer's house, and after partying, Zach Smith, who had been drinking, brought a female coworker to sleep on the couch at his home. What a great husband. Courtney Smith strenuously objected and drove the coworker home. A verbal altercation between Zach and Courtney Smith occurred upon Mrs. Smith's return home. Zach Smith allegedly picked up his wife and threw her against the wall, his pregnant wife. Zach Smith disputes that any violence occurred, of course, but was arrested by the Gainesville Police Department following a 911 call by Courtney Smith. Coach Meyer and his wife, Shelley Meyer, were contemporaneously aware of the 2009 arrest and was, as Hiram DeFries, their special assistant to Coach Meyer at both Florida and Ohio State, Courtney Smith decided not to pursue charges following discussions with members of at least Zach Smith's family, including his mother and grandfather, Earl Bruce, who Urban Meyer is credits Earl Bruce as a mentor to him and likely hire him to freeze. So basically, she was pressured into saying, no, nothing happened.
Yeah.
Coach Meyer maintains that shortly after the 2009 arrest, both Zach and Courtney Smith met with him in his office at Florida to inform him that the arrest of Zach Smith had been based on incorrect information provided to the authorities by Courtney Smith, and that, in fact, Zach Smith had not hit or otherwise been violent toward Mrs. Smith. Courtney Smith denies ever meeting with Urban Meyer, although she recalls meeting with Shelley Meyer at that time. Courtney Smith maintains she has never recanted her allegations to anyone. Zach Smith also recalls he only met with Urban Meyer, but that Courtney Smith did not. Urban and Shelley Meyer referred the couple to a counselor. There's a ton of twisting of the truth there.
Well, can we just say what it is, though? I mean, really, if you think about it.
It's cover-up.
It's a full-blown cover-up. And what I have an issue with, and let's just not get it twisted, it's not just what he did that's the problem. He did the one thing is, yes, he covered it up, but at the same time, Urban did pass it on to somebody else.
Yeah, and you know why? And here's the thing: they say, we find it more likely that only Zach Smith met with Coach Meyer in 2009, and that Courtney Smith likely did not recant her allegations of abuse at that time to Urban or Shelley Meyer. Although it is clear that Courtney Smith decided not to pursue charges, and that none were ever filed because she was pressured by Earl Bruce and everybody else, because Zach Smith, of course, is family with Earl Bruce, and you see how this is going.
But at the same time, did you hear, like, Smith went up to Urban and talked to Urban, and Meyer just point blank said to him, I don't want to hear this.
There it is.
Point blank said, I don't want to hear this. Yes, he passed it on to the DA. Yes, he did. Or the AD.
You mean the AD? Yeah.
He passed it on to the AD, yes. So, is his hands clean when it comes to that? Yes. But you know who also passed it on to the higher-ups and then got fucked for it? Oh, I don't know. Joe fucking Paterno.
There it is. We'll get into that. So, 2, knowledge of others at Ohio State of Zach Smith's 2009 arrest prior to his hiring by Coach Meyer as an assistant coach at Ohio State. A, Ohio State performed a standard background check on Zach Smith prior to his being hired as an assistant coach at OSU in December 2011 by Coach Meyer. The background check did not call for or return arrest information, and Zach Smith's arrest in 2009 was therefore unknown to others at Ohio State at the time he was hired. Who does a background check like that?
No one.
That background check is ridiculously... So they go, oh yeah, no. They covered it up. They straight up and down covered it up.
Oh yeah, they swept it under the rug.
And Coach Meyer did not inform others at Ohio State about Zach Smith's 2009 arrest. Wait. So if you are hiring somebody with domestic abuse issues in the era of Title IX, mind you, this is where it's funny. In the era of Title IX, you are hiring somebody and you didn't think to, mention that he had an arrest. Coach Meyer explained that he did not do so because no charges were filed and because he believed Zach Smith had not engaged in domestic violence in 2009. No charges were filed because you pressured her. You fucking pressured her.
Oh, man.
It's like four people in a fucking room. It's like 4 people in a room sitting next to her. It's like, no, we're going to make this go away. We're going to make this go away. You did not. You are not going to press charges. You are not going to press charges. Think of the baby. He's a great father. Think of the baby. So basically they're saying, think of, the family. And then you allow this asshole to get away with this.
Yeah, and then, oh, well, he's a good boy. He didn't do anything wrong. Yeah, bullshit.
And here's how blind Ohio State is and how in love they are with Urban Meyer. Athletic director AD Gene Smith, although involved in discussions of events related to an investigation of Zach Smith for possible domestic violence in 2015, does not recall becoming aware of Zach Smith's 2009 arrest until July 2018.
So 9 years later.
So I didn't know. Wait. So he has a possible domestic violence suit in 2015, of course, that you're sweeping under the rug, and you don't think to go into this. And this is from Urban Meyer, the coach that's high on morality, and this and that. Fuck bullshit. So then they say no further arrests or charges. That doesn't mean it didn't happen. Of course, she's not. Of course, Courtney Smith isn't going to say anything because, again, she's getting pressured by Earl Bruce and Urban Meyer and everybody else saying, keep it under wraps. Don't fuck this up for us. Well, Zach Smith continues.
Yeah.
It's disgusting. No other criminal charges, except although domestic violence civil protection order was issued against him on July 20th, 2018, which he is contesting. Not to mention, there were 2 criminal trespassing red flags on him as well. Criminal trespassing. Are you fucking kidding me? And here's some more of Zach Smith's greatest hits here. That people will go, well, isn't that Coach Meyer's fault? It is Coach Meyer's fault. Because if you are hiring people that you say, don't make me look bad, don't make this place look bad, and then you're hiring somebody that constantly is making
it look
that, and you keep him underemployed, it doesn't matter how many widgets or whatever the fuck he sells. If he is constantly causing grief and causing problems with which Urban Meyer had this Ohio State morality clause instilled in his contract, which is a fucking load of bullshit. Others in the athletic department, and you do nothing. You do nothing. Now, if you are hiring people and somebody's working for you and they're doing all this shit, now isn't it your responsibility that this shit is continuing to happen because you're not doing anything?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'll just sit back. I should coach football. Really? Then how come people are giving Urban Meyer a pass when Joe Paterno basically was informed about Jerry Sandusky, a guy who was separated from Penn State football for years? I'm talking like a decade. And then, oh, well, he didn't go to the AD. He went to the AD, but he didn't go, he didn't go to the cops. He didn't do this. He didn't do enough, people were screaming about. He didn't do enough. Urban Meyer didn't do shit. Urban Meyer did not do shit. And you're telling me he gets a 3-game suspension during Ohio State's cupcake portion of the year. That really doesn't affect them.
It's not even a 3-game. It's really a 1-game suspension. But can I just say one number, too? 31. The 31 arrests that were under his watch in Florida.
Yeah, that everybody swept under the rug. Why? Because he had the choir boy, Tim Tebow, as the figurehead. If this isn't enough reason for the NCAA to come on Urban Meyer, he's making Art Briles look like nothing.
I was going to say, and yet you all bitched about Ohio State selling jerseys for tattoos.
This makes tats for cash look stupid.
Makes it look like kid play. Make it look like kid shit.
Yeah, or tats for cat. What is it? Tats for cash or gear for tat?
Tat for gear for tats or tat for cash. Sounds better.
Tat for cash, gear for tats, whatever. That makes this look like nothing.
Yeah.
This is like this egregious behavior on the part of Urban Meyer and is just like brushing shit away. makes Miami's Ponzi scheme thing look like nothing. I mean, Penn State's thing, again, he went to the AD. He did all that stuff. He did everything he was supposed to do. People say, oh, well, you own Happy Valley. You should have done more. Makes no sense. So let's move on here, because it gets funnier. So an ex parte order is an order pending formal hearing issued when a judge, whatever. All right. Which is known to Coach Meyer, A.D. Smith, and others in the athletic department. The conduct includes a 2013 arrest for operating a vehicle while impaired. We have seen no evidence that Coach Meyer, A.D. Smith, or anyone else at Ohio State was aware of this charge. So Urban Meyer is supposed to keep, tabs on his employees, especially a problematic one. 2013 arrest for operating a vehicle while impaired. You think he would know about it. 2014, in connection with an out-of-town recruiting trip to Florida, Zach Smith ran up a significant bill at a local strip club along with other Ohio State football coach and one or more high school coaches. On a recruiting trip, Zach Smith ran up a $600 bill at a Miami strip club. I mean, hey, you can't go like, oh, well, he ran up the bill, but it's like with other coaches. This is Brian Vololini was aware of the strip club visit during a Florida recruiting trip and that a high school coach and/or coaches were present. Coach Meyer became aware of this incident, although he maintains not the amount of the expenditure, and reprimanded Zach Smith, warning him that if it ever happened again, he would be fired. This is in 2014. Okay. Coach Meyer also revised the 2014 Coach's Manual to include a morality clause, instructing staff to avoid strip clubs or venues that would embarrass the Ohio State University, and prohibiting pornography or any university-issued computer, phone, iPad, etc. Remember that. Remember that part right there.
Yep.
Prohibiting pornography on any university-issued computer, phone, iPad, etc. Just remember that. Coach Meyer did not, however...
I know where you're going with this.
Oh, just wait. Coach Meyer, however, did not report this incident to athletic compliance. Wait. So he just didn't do it? So he didn't report this incident to athletic compliance, which is where you should have. We have provided the information obtained by the independent investigation that this incident, the Office of University Compliance and Integrity and Athletic, blah, 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 blah. See whether this conduct violated the NCAA legislation. We found no evidence that A.D. Smith was aware of this incident. So it does violate the NCAA legislation. They just found no evidence of it. So they just swept it under the rug. From approximately 2014 to 2016, Zach Smith's credit cards were declined on at least 3 to 5 occasions, and some replacement cards he provided were also declined. When the travel office was booking rental cars for recruiting trips, staff also recalls Zach Smith was delinquent in paying his iPhones and for costs associated with bowl games. These issues were elevated to A.D. Gene Smith and Brian Vololini by Jennifer Bulla, travel manager, in an email dated January 23rd, 2016. Coach Meyer has a vague recollection of being aware of these issues as well. A vague recollection. From October 2015 to 2016, a long-term investigation by the Powell Police Department and Delaware County prosecutor of Zach Smith for possible domestic violence and cyber offenses against Courtney Smith. There's an investigation going on, and of course, Urban did nothing. In October 2015, Michelle Willis, then the deputy Title IX coordinator for the athletic department, received information from the Ohio State campus police about this Powell police investigation. Willis immediately notified A.D. Smith, who in turn notified Coach Meyer during a football practice that Zach Smith was under investigation for domestic violence and could be arrested at any time. A.D. Gene Smith recalls Coach Meyer having an immediate and strong negative reaction to this news. A.D. Gene Smith directed Zach Smith to return immediately from a recruiting trip and Coach Meyer, A.D. Gene Smith, and others met with Zach Smith a number of times to discuss the issue and ongoing investigation. Zach Smith, of course, denied Denny's domestic violence, and Coach Meyer told him that if you hit her, you are fired. A.D. Gene Smith also told Zach Smith that if these charges were filed, he would be fired. Then Coach Meyer assisted in arranging professional counseling for Zach Smith at this time. And Meyer and Gene Smith monitored the Powell police investigation regularly for a period of months. Why don't you just fire him? All this bullshit's happening. Why don't you just get rid of him? Also, in late fall 2015, Courtney Smith shared by text and telephone her allegations of abuse with Shelley Meyer and others, including a number of photographs that have since become public. Courtney Smith also told Shelley Meyer that she was afraid of Zach, and Shelley advised her that if she was afraid, she should call 911. Shelley Meyer was generally supportive towards Courtney Smith and expressed concern. In one text message, Courtney thanked Shelley Meyer for her support, stating, "I realize that no matter what, he will say anything to hide the truth." Shelley Meyer responded, "I am praying for you. I wouldn't listen to him anyway. He doesn't talk to anyone about you. I know the truth. Please take care of yourself and let me know what I could do to help." So right there.
She knew.
Oh, yeah. Shelley Meyer contacted the Powell Police Department to seek further information about the investigation of Zach Smith. The Powell PD would not release details other than acknowledging the existence of an ongoing investigation. Coach Meyer was not made aware of Shelley's outreach to the Powell PD. Bullshit.
You know what? No, here's the thing. On that one, I can understand if he didn't know that she reached out to the police.
You think the police would go, Shelley Meyer, oh yeah, hey, by the way, Urban, yeah, you know.
Well, no, I can understand. Listen, if they wanted to keep it, but they could have kept it with them, and they could have not brought Urban into it. I can understand if Urban might not know about that the police were called, but everything else that you said, fucking bullshit. Oh, and by the way, let's bring up the part where Zach Smith had about $500 worth of sex toys sent to Ohio State's office.
Yeah. Sex toys. Oh, we're getting that. Yeah, remember that part of the morality part there? Yeah, you know, that just goes by the wayside again. Shelley Meyer also maintains that she did not relay Courtney Smith's expression of fear or allegations of abuse, including all of a sudden she now, I did not relay it to Urban Meyer at the time because she had doubts about the veracity of Courtney Smith's allegations. So if you text, I'm praying for you, I wouldn't believe him anyway, all of a sudden you're doubting her. And she's sending pictures. Oh, you're doubting her. No woman on the face of this fucking earth, if your best friend goes, hey, my boyfriend is hitting me and sends pictures, what does that girl do automatically? She freaks the fuck out.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's no chick, there's no woman that I know that would be calm, cool, and collected.
Yeah. Oh, I'm doubting it. Are you fucking what? Get the fuck out of here with that shit.
You out of your goddamn fucking mind?
It's bullshit. It's complete bullshit. And it's like, we believe it's likely that Shelley and Urban Meyer have had at least some communication about these allegations in late 2015 and were concerned about them. So all of a sudden now he knew when he didn't know.
Right. Well, there you go. There you go. You just said it. So he knew.
He knew when he didn't know. Yep. Okay. So then Courtney and Zach Smith were separated in June 5th, 2015, and Courtney Smith filed for divorce November 12th, 2015. Until she decided to end the marriage in late 2015, Courtney Smith did not share with Shelley Meyer or others her allegations of physical abuse. That's what they're saying. But you already have text messages right here that in fall 2015. You know what I mean? And they knew about it in 2009. Although both had doubts about the credibility of Courtney's claims. By the way, they never talked to Courtney Smith. Maybe they would want to talk to the fucking victim.
You would think, right?
Yeah. You know, just maybe. based on, among other things, Zach Smith's denials and their belief that Courtney Smith's 2009 allegations had been false. By late October 2015, Coach Meyer knew of Courtney Smith's domestic violence complaints against Zach Smith through his knowledge of the 2015-2016 law enforcement investigation. Okay. During and after his divorce proceedings, Zach Smith's job performance suffered. He was regularly late to practices and workouts, and on other occasions, Zach Smith failed to appear at scheduled recruiting visits at various high schools, despite reporting internally that he had. So he didn't go, but he said he did. And that's not a fireable offense?
Sounds like it.
That's a fireable offense. I'm sorry. If you go to work, if you don't show up to work, and they say, why didn't you show up? You said, oh, I was there. And if you constantly, repeatedly do this, what are they going to do to you?
Your ass is out the door.
They're going to fire you. And so he's saying, oh, yeah, I went on these trips, but he didn't. Coach Meyer was made aware of these issues, and Zach Smith recalls that Meyer warned him that if he continued to be late and otherwise unreliable, he would be fired. A.D. Smith, who was generally aware of Zach Smith's performance issues during this time period, suggested that Coach Meyer consider replacing him. Coach Meyer decided not to do so. This is in 2016. So how many strikes has Zach Smith gotten so far?
Oh, God, lost track.
Like strike 5, 6, 7. It's just constant finger wagging. I'll do it. Like, come on. During the same period, as recent news reports have noted and otherwise, Zach Smith was, one, engaged in a sexual relationship with a secretary on the football staff who did not report to him. A, took sexually explicit photographs of himself in the Ohio State football facilities and at other locations, including the fucking White House.
Yep.
On a team visit in April 2015 after winning the 2014 national championship, and had sex-related toys delivered to him at the Ohio State athletics facilities. Although certain members of the football staff were aware of these issues to some degree, we do not believe Coach Meyer or A.D. Smith were aware of them. So Obermeyer's not going to know that $500 worth of sex toys is being delivered to Ohio State.
The only thing that would have made that worse is if he was giving it to the cheerleaders.
So he's sexting and doing junk pics. He's sending dick pics at the fucking White House. What is that gonna be like? Look at me, I'm at the White House, dick.
I mean, really, when you think about it, is that the worst thing that's ever happened at the White House?
Really? We're gonna. All right, but
I'm just saying.
And then, remember that morality clause? How many times has he tried? He's done the freaking like salsa over it.
Oh yeah.
He's stopped the crap out of it. Dun, 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 dun. That's what he's doing. It's fucking disgusting. It is goddamn disgusting what he's doing. Oh my God. But they just continue to dun 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 dun. It's fucking disgusting. So, June 2016, based on medical advice and direction from Coach Meyer, Zach Smith was admitted to a drug treatment facility for addiction to stimulant prescription drug used to treat ADHD. Of course, Gene Smith was unaware. And then finally divorced in September 2nd, 2016. On December 19th, 2017, you forgot the greatest hits keep coming. Zach Smith was given a trespass warning by the Powell police because he allegedly entered onto the premises of his former wife, Courtney Smith, while intoxicated on December 17th, 2017. And neither Coach Meyer nor A.D. Smith was aware of this warning. So do people just like live in bubbles at Ohio State?
It sounds like it, right?
I mean, I'm sorry. If a player gets arrested, the coach is the first one to be notified. So you're telling me a coach has all this shit happen to him, and his employer, the head coach, and the AD of a Division I university that prides itself on morality and doing the right thing is not notified. Bullshit. On May 12th, 2018, Zach Smith was charged with criminal trespass after he went to the home of Courtney Smith. Coach Meyer and AD Smith became aware of this one on July 20th after it was referenced on social media. And Zach Smith is contesting the charge. What is wrong with you? Oh my God. On July 20th, 2018, a domestic violence civil protection order was issued against Zach Smith based on an ex parte finding that Zach Smith posed an immediate danger of domestic violence to Courtney Smith. Coach Meyer and AD Smith became aware of this order after social media reports noted it. On July 2. Do they just live in fucking bubbles?
That's what it sounds like.
Zach Smith is contesting the protection order. Are you serious? So all this stuff is happening to this guy that is under the employ. He was finally fired by Coach Meyer on the evening of July 23rd. Finally. Are you... So they're just surrounded by bubbles here, going la 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 la. Or is it the Van Combe lady from fucking Mad TV every time? Oh, hey, by the way, Zach Smith, la 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 la. I mean, get the fuck out of here.
You know, he looking like a man.
Oh my, no, I'm not the Van Combe lady.
I know.
Yeah, like, oh my God, it is. Then after learning finally on the morning of July 23rd about the reports of domestic violence and civil protection order issued against Zach Smith on July 20th, and after consulting with AD Gene Smith, Coach Meyer, who was in the Chicago for the Big Ten Media Days event next day, decided to fire Zach Smith. AD Gene Smith, who understood the difficulties of a divorce, was initially considering obtaining counseling for Zach Smith. Oh, fuck you. But did not object to Coach Meyer's decision to terminate him. You've been trying to terminate him for fucking years. Meyer told us that his primary reason for firing Zach Smith was because he failed to bring both the order of protection and the criminal trespass matters to his attention. You failed to do it. What are the cops jerking off? What the fuck? Well, this is the same police department, that forgot that Ezekiel Elliott beat the shit out of his girlfriend 3 times. The same police department that just so happened to lose the documented papers of Ezekiel Elliott's accident that he caused when he had no license and his license was suspended. But yet he was still behind the wheel. And he caused an accident. Oh, yeah, by the way, he also scored 4 touchdowns the very next weekend. So, hey, they won the game. That's what matters in Ohio, right? It's fucking disgusting. Meyer told us that, he failed to bring it. And instead, Meyer heard about them from news and social media reports. Meyer considered these failures to be violations at the core value of honesty. The core value? Fuck you, Urban Meyer. You're not honest. In addition, Coach Meyer considered the domestic violence civil protection in order to be the first actual evidence that Zach Smith had engaged in domestic violence. Even though Zach Smith continues to deny it and is contesting the order. Wait. So that's the first time that Urban Meyer thought that Zach Smith might be beating the shit out of his ex-wife?
That's what it sounds like.
Wait. Not 2009, not 2015, when you signed him up for fucking counseling. None of those. But now. Not then, but now. And when are you gonna find? And when are you finally gonna fire him, Urban? Soon. Fuck you. Oh my, is bullshit. Oh my, and then Zach Smith would be paid the buyout under what they understood was his current contract. But you fire this fucker without pay? Are you kidding me? This is completely because Zach was Earl Bruce's grandson. And he finally fired him. He finally got the balls to fire him after Earl Bruce fucking passed away. Earl Bruce passed away. Then all of a sudden Urban Meyer fires Zach Smith, which is what he should have done long ago.
Yeah.
Anybody in their right fucking mind would do it. Art Briles would have fired this motherfucker. This is disgusting.
Oh, no, you're absolutely right.
It is absolutely and utterly disgusting. Like, it is, ugh. It is fucking disgusting as hell. We need to get help. And then on the night of 23rd, Meyer directed a message to staff stating the reasons for Zach Smith's dismissal were core values violation and cumulative issues. Win the moment. Most important thing is team and players at this time. Meyer further directed zero conversation about Zach's past issues. We need to help him as he moves forward. Team and players. Oh, fuck you. As it turns out, Zach Smith and certain other coaches did not have signed contracts on July 23rd, 2018, the date of Zach Smith's termination. So they didn't have to buy out anything.
Yeah.
They paid him. They fucking paid him. My God, I'd love to get fired and get paid a ton of money.
I know, right?
Yeah. Are you fucking kidding me? And then in 7:35, remember Shelly Meyer here, who's completely, who said, she had doubts, right? Remember she had doubts?
Yep.
She conveyed in a text message to Coach Urban Meyer that I am worried about Zach's response. He drinks a lot, and I am just not sure how stable he will be. Afraid he will do something dangerous. It's obvious he has anger, rage issues already. And Urban Meyer did not respond to the message. So Urban didn't respond to a text message from his own fucking wife.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, there's still more.
Oh, I know.
You can't believe there's still more, right?
Oh, no, I can't, because this shit goes on forever. Oh, and by the way, people, 3 games, really 1.
Oh, my, okay. Hey, what's up, everybody? Yeah, we're going over the Urban Meyer thing, so bear with us. The fun keeps coming. Thereafter, still during the evening of July 23rd, 2018, Meyer received an additional media reports discussing Zach Smith's 2009 arrest and a felony arrest involving Zach Smith in 2015. At 10:25 p.m., Coach Meyer sent a message to Gene Smith, Jerry Emick, the Assistant Director, Athletic Communications, Brian Vitolini, Director of Football Operations, Ryan Stamper, Director, Player of Development, stating, I know nothing about this. He asked, is there a way to find out exactly what his issues were? I know about 2009. It was dropped. And last week, that's it. Need some guidance here so when I speak to media, I'm not wrong. Later that evening, Stamper reported to Meyer there was no record of Zach Smith being arrested in 2015. Only records of a divorce. What? So they made up the felony arrest in 2015, huh?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah, Meyer acknowledged this, stating Stamp just confirmed there was no arrest in 2015. As the same text chain continued in the morning of July 24th, A.D. Smith cautioned I would be careful, do not get too detailed. He went on to advise that whatever Coach Meyer says on this subject at Big Ten Media Days should be said in his opening statement and take no more questions on it. Gene Smith also suggested the following remarks for Meyer at the Big Ten Media Days. As you're aware through our release, we have made a change in our wide receivers coaching position. As Zach dealt with his personal challenge, I was aware of 2 legal instances in 2009 2015. This most recent issue was inconsistent with our values, needs to be cleaned up. In your words, just a thought. Meyer responds, thanks. Oh my God. And then, of course, Meyer goes, there were no charges in 2015. I really don't even recall any details. Meyer does not respond. In text messages with his agent, also on the morning of July, Meyer says it was the right thing to do to fire Zach Smith. Meyer also indicated that he was fired for cumulative stuff and stated, I will not tell the media. The agent responded that, for sure, the totality of his choice is that it was only a matter of time before he did something and did substantial harm to you or the program. He hasn't already?
Yeah.
And then, of course, Meyer say, I can't say it didn't happen because I wasn't there. Which of course was bullshit. We know about the lie. Where he lied to the media. We know about that. That's not a fireable offense. Yeah. Holding on a felon and a misdemeanor man and all that bullshit, that is a fireable offense. You do all that bullshit, that is a fireable offense.
Yeah.
Not the other shit. Who gives a shit if you lie to the media? But when you where you continue to harbor a felon, misdemeanors, where you completely sweep under the rug allegations of, basically pressure the person to not talk about them, to not press charges when she's getting the shit beat out of her. That's a fireable offense.
Yeah.
To constantly sweep shit under the rug, that's a fireable offense. Oh my. And then to say, oh yeah, with your morality clause that you don't even live up to, that is a fireable offense. And then, of course, Meyer had knowledge of the 2015 events because a widely shared news report claimed that Urban and Shelley Meyer had been aware of Courtney Smith's allegations of abuse in 2015 in a law enforcement investigation. The reported information included 2 incident reports from the Powell PD as well as a text message between Courtney Smith and Shelley Meyer. Upon seeing this report, when it came out at the time, Brian Voldolini, who was on the practice field with Kirschmeyer, went to speak with him, commenting this was a bad article. The two discussed at the time whether the media could get access to Coach Meyer's phone and specifically discussed how to adjust the settings on Meyer's phone so that text messages older than 1 year will be deleted. So now let's just delete the shit, right? This is just cover up after cover up after cover up.
Yep.
My God.
Some dirty ass shit.
It's ridiculous. If you do any of this, you get fired.
Oh, just ethics. What's that?
There is no ethics here. So, suspension? Suspension. Oh, and then Urban has memory issues, they say.
Yeah, you know how you fix memory issues? Hey, here's a right hook, clock.
You tell the fucking truth, that's how. No, it's funny how he can remember all this stuff and all this stuff, all this stuff about football and everything else. But all of a sudden, yeah, what about this? What about that? Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, no. So, Mike and Mike said it the best. So, you're telling me you don't know, like, you can't remember something like that, but yet you can remember everything that just happened in a game?
Yeah, you can remember all these things from years past of games, but you can't remember this. And then Ohio State, in this egregious thing, like they've done before, they sweep it under the rug. Now comes my challenge to you, NCAA. You hammered Penn State when Joe did the right thing. Joe went to his AD. This has been proven.
Yes.
And still, you nearly killed the program. After, not to mention, where the employee in question, Jerry Sandusky, was separated from the program over a decade. Over a decade. But yet you still hammered the program. Urban Meyer has been harboring a felon, a abuser, which is in direct violation of Title IX. If you say, oh yeah, she didn't go based on conversations with that, that's pressuring somebody to not go to the cops. That is pressuring somebody, saying, no, do not go to the police. We don't need this. Think of us. Think of Ohio State. Think of this. Fuck your thing. Think of us. That is disgusting.
And the fact that it wasn't an NCAA.
That is disgusting that somebody hires somebody. He beats the shit out of his wife. And then that person with the guy's family and everything is like, think of our reputation. We know you're getting hit, but think of our reputation here. Think of what this is going to do to us and Ohio State football. Fuck who gives a shit about your black eye or broken arm or whatever. Who gives a shit about that? Think of us. That is disgusting. That is utterly revolting. That is utterly revolting, and the NCAA should come down ridiculously hard on Ohio State for that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They had a chance to clean house. They failed. They have proven without a shadow of a doubt they care more about winning football games and getting to bowl games than they do about what is right.
Yeah.
Penn State was like, oh, it's Sandusky. And the only reason that they really released the reports like that craziness was because there were people in Penn State that wanted Joe Paterno out. And they saw this as a way to get him out.
Yeah. And that's
even
more disgusting. It's like, listen.
Yeah, even though Joe Pa was leaving at the end of the year.
Yeah, they didn't care. Like, Joe Pa literally after that season fucking died.
Yeah, because they did that. Those higher-ups killed Joe Paterno. Did they care? No.
Well, allegedly.
They did. They add so much stress to the guy. Yeah.
He had no reason to live.
No, he didn't.
Because you took everything away. For Christ's sakes, you took everything away from Joe Pa's wife. Because you decided to fucking rename the goddamn library, too. She had nothing to do with it.
Right. They took away everything, and no big deal. Whatever.
And guess what? The only good thing is the NCAA realized they fucked up, and gave him his wins back. So now he is still, I think, it's him and then the guy from Florida State. He is still
Bobby Bowden.
Yeah.
Bobby Bowden.
Yep.
Yeah, but under Urban Meyer, people have run amok. The only time players get dismissed from Ohio State is when it's too much shit that they can't cover up. When a defensive end gets caught with narcotics, not weed, narcotics, and the only reason they caught him because and then he also gets charged with evading the police. Then they had to let him go.
Not even that. Let's just talk about the fact that, holy fuck, Aaron Hernandez from just his shit in Florida alone.
Yeah, gang-related ties, threatening the lives of people while at Florida.
That let's leave Ohio State alone by itself.
See, people think Florida under Urban Meyer was this great thing because of Tebow.
Someone put out on Reddit the other day, Florida should be its own 30 for 30. You had a Christian quarterback that was leading a team full of gang members, rapists, and druggies.
Yep, under Urban Meyer's watch, as he turned a blind eye.
And the only reason people, and this is why everyone's like, oh, well, you guys hate Florida because of Tebow. No, we hate Florida because they're a bunch of freaking hood rats.
And then you look at Ohio State, the Ezekiel Elliott shit. Constant stuff with defensive linemen and offensive linemen from Ohio State. And now Zach Smith. I mean, this is enough to fire anybody. And the only reason you don't fire him is because he wins 90% of his games.
By the way, okay, so they did the, what is it? They did the percentages. Here we go. You ready for this? What, the Ohio State's first 3 games, the FPI chances of winning those games.
99, 89, 81 or some shit like that.
Oregon State, 89.8. Rutgers, they're even giving Rutgers a 4% chance, 96.4. And TCU is 80.6. But wait, it gets better. They also announced that he can, after Oregon State, he can come back and train them for Rutgers TCU. So he's just not on the field for the games. He can still coach them.
That is disgusting.
So really, in retrospect, it's a 1-game suspension. Oh, and by the way, you're a 33-point fucking favorite.
That is, it's disgusting. It is ultimately disgusting. And the fact that Ohio State thinks they can get away with this, the NCAA needs to step in and step in hard, because right now they are getting run through the mud.
But here's the thing. How many people are even, like, what's sad is besides us and besides ESPN, how many people give a shit?
Well, a lot of people do. I mean, people in Ohio State obviously aren't, because they're like, we got our coach. That's all they care about. All Ohio State cares about is winning football games. That is it. And that has been proven. And that is bullshit. That is against education. That is against the whole point of having a school in the first place, especially a university and a place of higher learning. That is against that completely, that they don't even give a shit about, actually being good human beings, that they could just do whatever they want. That's disgusting. That they just want to cover this up. So, hey, if you're a high school football player and you love to punch women, go to Ohio State, because they'll sweep everything under the rug for you. That's my closing statement. I'm done. It's disgusting.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Did you want to do any quick news, or did you care? Did you want to just end
No,
that?
I'm done. I'm done. Put this on YouTube. We'll spread this out because this conversation needs to be heard. And if you agree with everything we said or anything we said or want to add to it, feel free. Hit us up on Facebook. Hit us up on Twitter. You know the deal. Like, comment on YouTube, whatever. Because seriously, this is disgusting and a black eye for college football. And if Ohio State honestly thinks they can get away with this freaking highway robbery crime, this is a straight up crime.
A fucking men.
If this is, if Ohio State gets away with this is a complete black eye on college football, because Ohio State has proven without a shadow of a doubt that the universities cannot police themselves.
Yeah, agreed.
There it is.
And with that being said, we will see you Tuesday.
Yep.
See ya.